Hello Python programmers. So this is the video 11th of a machine learning with Python video series, and in this video we're gonna discuss about our regression models. Now in the previous video we have discussed about the approach of machine learning, which was in three folds. First was supervised, second unsupervised, third was reinforcement. Now by mistake I have missed the third approach. I will provide the detailed video for this topic as soon as possible. If the video is uploaded at the time you are watching this video, you can find the link in the description as well as in the I button. Okay, so let's come back to the topic of our video. Now supervised learning is of two types: regression and classification. If you want some overview of what supervised learning is, what is unsupervised learning, and what is classification, so you can watch my previous video. Okay, now we're gonna discuss regression here. So regression is simply establishing or estimating a relationship between dependent and independent variable. So what we are doing here is we are using our independent variable as a feature to simply form a relationship or a curve which will lead to our dependent variable. Now the dependent variable or our outcome is always in the continuous data, that is in the numeric form. It cannot be categorical, it can only be numerical. Okay, now there are many models present in our regression categories, whether linear or non-linear. Some of them are here, like simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, polynomial regression, support vector, decision tree, and random forest. Some of the models like regression tree and random forest are also available for classification. We'll discuss all of them in a separate and dedicated video, but in this video I'm gonna take the first two, which is first three actually, which is the simple and multiple linear regression and polynomial linear regression, so that you can get an idea of what regression model actually are. We will discuss all of them and a few more models in detailed videos separately. Okay, so first of all, let's see what are linear regression model. This is one of the most simplest model, and usually the mentors take this as the first model when they are explaining machine learning models, and this is what I am also doing. Okay, so the relationship between the independent and dependent variable are assumed to be linear in nature. Now let's take a look at this graph here. There you can see that the data points are plotted on this graph. Let's say that the x-axis is our independent variable, let's say time, and this is our salary, which is our dependent variable. So there you can see, as the time or the experience is increasing, the salary is also increasing. So there you can see there is a linear pattern that our data is following. So we can simply draw a line from here and then do the prediction. We will see all of these things in a lot more detail of how we can draw the line and what is happening in the background of all these models. But this is just a simple introduction of what linear regression is. Okay, so linear regression is of two types. First is simple and second is multiple. If we have only one dependent and one independent variable plotted on each axis, then we can say that this is a simple linear regression. But when you have more than one independent variable of features and have one dependent variable, then we can say that we are having multiple linear regression, where multiple independent variables are plotted on one axis and one dependent variable is plotted on another one. Okay, but they will follow linear patterns. Now let's move on to our second uh, regression model, which is polynomial regression. Now sometimes what happen is the data which we have when plotted on the graph doesn't follow a linear pattern but somewhat follow a polynomial curve pattern. So there you can see we have two graphs here. First one, we have tried to plot a linear line, but there you can see this is not satisfying the data points here. Okay, but when we plot a polynomial graph, there you can see, then we are able to satisfy most of the points here. Now we will see this in lot more details, that how we can select the degree of polynomial to satisfy most of the points, and how we can avoid the underfitting and overfitting. Okay, but this was a general introduction of what the linear regression models are and what are polynomial regression. So this is it for this video. This was a general introduction of what regression models are, and in the next video we'll start off with our simple linear regression and see some of the basic terms like how we can draw the line, what is the formula behind drawing this line, what is least square, and everything which is related to this linear regression. And we'll see all this by using Python. Okay, so meet in the next lecture. Bye bye.